Coming up on the Lakeside Loop, Lakeside has a Pops concert. Pastor Yahnke makes his own puppets, and we cover the first day of Winter Carnival. The Loop starts now.
Welcome back to the Lakeside Loop. I'm Natalie Pop.
And I'm Juan Gulrud.
Lakeside's annual Pops concert was held last Sunday. Many different groups performed, including the band, percussion ensemble, the a cappella choir, and more. Here's how it went. Great job to everyone who performed.
Many of you may be familiar with puppets on TV, like the Muppets or on Sesame Street, but not many know how puppets are made and how the shows are put on. Pastor Yahnke, a Lakeside teacher, is well versed on the creation and use of puppets and puppetry in general. He tells us more.
This is the greatest game ever! I love this game! I'm gonna play this game all night long! I'm awesome! Awesome! Woo! Love this game! No one's gonna make me do bad at it! What do you want?
Hey.
What? What?
I want to play that game.
Too bad I'm playing!
No, I'm playing.
No, get out of the way!
Ah! Yeah.
Oh, I'm
That's
so
good
mad
game.
at you! I'm gonna go tell Mom! It's not fair!
So what got me started with puppetry? I was a kid that always liked art. Like I liked drawing and I dabbled in painting a little bit. And so I've always been interested in art, and I never really thought of puppets as an art form before. And then when I was about 15 or 16, I was at the public library in Toma, and I checked out a copy of this book. And actually I bought a copy because it made such an impact on me. It's called Of Muppets and Men, and there's one page in here, right here, where it shows a picture of the puppet workshop in New York for Jim Henson. And it absolutely kind of blew my mind, because when I thought of being an artist, I thought of having a studio someday where you did drawing and painting, and that's exactly what was going on. They're doing drawings, they're building puppets, and it just kind of told me, hey, this is an art form.
Hey, Micah! Jenny? Matt? Where are you guys?
But I guess how I got into it at maybe a professional level was we started this Kids Bible Adventures, and every week we would have a different Bible story, and so I would build a puppet that would review the lessons and teach the lessons to the kids. And so I would build a different puppet, and then I would make videos that kind of applied the lessons that we taught to the kids each week. And that's how I really got into it.
It's always best when you have big questions like this to talk to your mom and dad.
Yeah, we talked to Mom and Dad, didn't we, Mouse?
Yeah, she said to ask you, Pastor.
Yeah, she said, Pastor, that you can help us understand this better.
Boy, building a puppet is a complicated process, but I would say it depends on the type of puppet that's built, but like this purple monkey, I would say probably anywhere between 30 to 40 hours, and then I could have him finished and ready to be sent off. So some are much more complicated, that would take a much longer amount of time.
This is not the body I want at the end. See this body over here? I want to have a nice plump belly like that. Right now, I'm more like the pink girl. And that's okay for now.
Yeah, this is the style I like the most. Maybe it's called Muppet style puppetry. Others call it hand and rod puppetry, because you move the mouth with your hand and then you control their other limbs with a rod that's attached to it. So it's called hand and rod or Muppet style puppetry. And that's what I like the most. With the people I trained with, puppetry is kind of a serious business. Like, yeah, it's funny, but you put the puppet on and it's time to get down to business. When you perform to the camera, you're watching on a monitor down below. So I'm performing to the camera, but I'm actually watching what the camera is capturing on TV. So because it's becoming to the TV, the image is backwards. So if you move to the right, it goes left on screen. And so you've got to have your mind in it. So you're thinking not only about how do I move, but you're also thinking about what the person just say, how do I react to it. So fun is in making the scene, in having a scene that's successful, but it's kind of down to business. But what's the funniest thing that's ever happened? When I did some training with Peter Linz from Sesame Street, he's the guy that plays Ernie. That guy is just hilarious. He's a hilarious performer. Like the stuff he comes up with is just hilarious. But as an individual, he's so caring and kind, and he is extremely funny. And so just being around him and watching him improv with a puppet in between takes, that was hilarious.
Do you think she knows what she's talking about?
Yeah, she might.
No, I don't really think she does.
A gift that God gave me, which is art, creativity and art, kind of intersected with my faith, right? So to be able to build puppets and then to use them to teach little children about Jesus and have them kind of just glue in on the message and be interested in it, that really was impactful to me.
Hey, does that mean my grandpa's in heaven right now?
Exactly. That's exactly where your grandpa is.
Thanks for sharing.
Ms. Johnson, who works in the ELC at Lakeside, will be stepping down from her position. She'll be moving away because she is getting married. God's blessings on your wedding and future.
This past Wednesday, 15 students from Lakeside's Cultural Awareness Club visited Kingdom Prep Lutheran High School. They took the day to experience the diversity at Kingdom Prep.
So this month we're celebrating Black History Month, and I feel that one of the big barriers in our cultures is that we don't really understand a lot of other cultures that aren't our culture. So the hope was that by allowing our kids to go to Kingdom Prep, they would get to know that these kids at Kingdom Prep are just kids. May not look the same, may talk differently, whatever the cultural differences may be, that actually get to know them as kids, that it's just kids. And they're just other human beings as God has created us as all to look different and to act different.
So on Wednesday, February 1st, which was the start of Black History Month, the members of the Cultural Awareness Group, we went down to Kingdom Prep and we were able to kind of experience what it's like for them. So the one class we did go to was Nehemiah Hour, and it was a lot different from our class and what it would be like. So we started off with the Lakeside students randomizing on tables with the students from Kingdom Prep, and we first introduced ourselves, got to know them, their names, we put name tags on, and then class started and we read a part of Nehemiah chapter 6, the first around 16 verses, and the teacher had phases we did to complete, and we would, with our table, we would first read it and then we would discuss it, answer some of the questions, and got to go in God's Word in depth with some of the peers that were there and classmates. And then we were also able to do a little fun activity to just communicate more and just be able to have some fun.
We tried to create opportunities for the kids while they were there, that they weren't just in a class, but they were interacting with these kids. And it was cool to see the transition from the very awkward, I have no idea who you are, you don't know who I am, to at the end of the day, playing dodgeball together. Later that night, they came here, and a lot of the same kids that they had the opportunity to interact with were playing basketball here. Being the fact that I had taught at Kingdom Prep, I thought it would be a cool opportunity to get these kids from Lakeside to be a part of Kingdom Prep for a day and to get to experience it. Really had nothing to do with the academic side of the day. We didn't need them to really completely experience what life in the school was like. We wanted them to build relationships with these kids.
In the coming weeks, a few Kingdom Prep students will return the favor and visit us here at Lakeside. God's blessings on their visit.
Similar to Homecoming Week, Lakeside hosts fun competitions during Winter Carnival Week. The events include a relay race, which took place Monday, and dress-up days.
It was Winter Carnival Week, and the first day was Pajama Day, so we all came to school dressed up in pajamas. So we had a relay race for the National Guard, and basically we just make teams of 4 or 5, and we just race them, and the winner gets prizes, for example. And all of us were making my team. I had Ben Crockless, CeCe Cron, Isaiah Sampson, and Avery Wolfram, and Easton Wolfram. So So the third race was against a bunch of seniors, and it was pretty evenly matched, but we thought we might have lost. We thought we were going to have a chance to lose, so we really tried, and we managed to come up top and win the game. Our key to our success was like teamwork and definitely these guys on socks. They really gave us like extra grip so we can move a little bit faster in the thing.
What's up, Lakeside? Lakeside, yeah!
Thank you to everyone who participated. We'll cover the rest of fun next week.
National large team with a total of 299 points overall. We have Lakeside Lutheran.
Well, last night at the Capitol Conference Forensic Meet, Lakeside won for the 13th year in a row. I personally got first in the solo series category for the second year running, and a lot of people that were from Lakeside that were in all of the events placed.
Pretty louder for Lakeside.
Basically, you all go into a room and you perform in front of one judge and then all the other people that are in that room at the time. And you get ranked from 1 to however many people are in the room. 1 is the best rank and like 5 or 6 probably is the worst. And then all the ranks are added up for your score.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jeremy McLean. I'm here outside of My Ohio City Hall where the city councilor discussing the building of an early childhood learning center. I do special occasion. I'm doing a protest speech this year. I'm really stretching special occasion though. Special occasion is just doing a speech. There's a couple of subcategories, like there was public address, protest. Last year they had a roast of a celebrity. I saw it, dude. My name's Bradley Dobson, active member of Sigma Sigma Sigma. And I'm here outside the big building in the center of town where all the important stuff happens. The city council or whatever were talking about putting the preschool down the street from our frat house. This, my friend, is totally bogus. I had an idea in my head from this skit from a video my dad showed me of a bunch of frat boys protesting stuff, and so I put the pieces together, and it's frat boys protesting a preschool being built on their street. Forensics is really helpful for standing up in front of people, like even at school when we have to do speeches or we're reading a devotion in front of class. Having sort of that forensics background and being able to like speak in front of people really helps.
He's lost it. This time I'm telling you, he's lost it.
It is quite a project.
What could he possibly be thinking? I mean, this is beyond reasonable.
And he wants it all done in 7 days?
6 days, Michael. Didn't you hear?
That's right, and on the 7th day...
You want to put rings around Saturn, that's one thing. Canals on Mars, that's another.
Hey, at least it's not as big as Jupiter was.
And what an ugly name.
You meet some of the coolest people and the nicest people in forensics, and it's great to help you get over your nerves of public speaking and know how to talk to people.
And now, you're in the loop. I'm Natalie Pop.
And I'm Juan Garud. God's blessings on your week.